Leticia James is a clown. And New York City is a circus for electing her.
Voters make a distinction, a lot of them, and the polls show it, between undocumented immigrants without criminal records, people you're talking about, and those who have them.
Report all immigrants who are here illegally, 55% of the New York Times, Marquette 64%, CBS News 57%, ABC News with a slightly different question, 56%. So what you're seeing essentially here is a very clear indication that a majority of Americans do in fact want to deport all immigrants who are here illegally. There's no arguing with these different numbers because they're all essentially the same across 4 different pollsters.
Right, especially in these extreme cases like we look at in this case in New York City.
PIX is reporting that an off-duty Border Patrol agent was shot in the face late last night in New York City.
But to that point, in this case, why should those voters think that this is something other than the system not working? I mean, if you're talking about waiting for comprehensive immigration reform, I've been in Washington for 20 years, and they've been trying for a long time. It doesn't happen.
Wrong. There has been comprehensive immigration reform. And this is what true reform looks like. There are laws already on the books, as evidenced by facts like this.
The Customs and Border Protections did not release a single illegal immigrant into the United States during the month of May, not one, according to reports. So this is a massive contrast to May last year under Joe Biden.
Right. So why, in the case of cities taking a step and states taking a step, is this an example where there could be that coordination instead of waiting decades for Congress to act?
At the outset, I indicated to you that, in fact, New York State and other Democratic states cooperate with ICE when it comes to criminal convictions.
Leticia, you are a sociopathic manipulator, liar, con woman, and deceiver. Immigration enforcement guidance concerning local authorities' participation in immigration enforcement and model provisions. This is her own guidance and her own interpretation of the law. Instance, under New York state law, LEAs are not ordinarily permitted to detain people at the request of federal civil immigration authorities alone without a judicial warrant. However, LEAs may notify federal immigration of an individual's release date without extending their detention under narrow circumstances, as described below in Part 3. ICE typically requests local law enforcement to hold the individual for up to 48 hours using what's called an administrative warrant, which is a legal request to hold an individual for ICE to arrive and take custody of them. This is not signed by a judge, but by a federal immigration official. Law governing information sharing with federal authorities. In addition to issuing detainer requests, federal civil immigration authorities may also seek information about individuals in an LEA's custody. For example, ICE may request notification of an individual's release date, time, and location to enable ICE to take custody of the individual upon release. This guidance recommends that, unless presented with a judicial warrant, LEAs should not provide sensitive information that is not generally available to the public, such as information about an individual's release details or home address. This approach enables LEAs to protect individual privacy rights and ensure positive relationships with the communities they serve, which in turn promotes public safety. Section 1373 does not impose an affirmative mandate to share information. Instead, this law simply states that localities may not forbid or restrict their employees from sharing information regarding an individual's citizenship or immigration status. Nothing in Section 1373 restricts a locality from declining to share other information with federal immigration authorities, such as non-public information about an individual's release, court appearances, or address. So they're literally releasing criminals, violent criminals, some of them sex offenders, without even notifying federal authorities. And in some local municipalities in New York State, it is actually expressly against their policies to do so without a judicial warrant. That's so insane, and that's what's leading up to violent incidents like what we see happening in New York and across the country.
Jose Ibarra is in jail charged with Laken Riley's murder.
Jose was arrested for riding a moped with their 5-year-old son while doing food deliveries. Neither were wearing a helmet. At that point, ICE could have taken Jose into custody, but it says he was released before that could happen. The DA's office in Queens has refused to answer our questions, even denying the case exists.
But when it comes to innocent individuals who serve as your nanny, who clean your home, individuals who are our neighbors, individuals who unfortunately are just trying to make ends meet
both
each
of
and
these
every
individuals
day
had multiple arrests after deportation orders.
And
why
that
are
is
those
why
not
in the state of New
opportunities?
York, and that is why in the state of New York, when it comes to individuals, as you indicated, individuals with criminal convictions.
So New York just doesn't get any convictions.
Then we cooperate with ICE.
Both men are Dominican nationals with extensive criminal histories. DHS Secretary Kristi Noem says Ibar Baroa entered the country in 2022 and was ordered to leave a year later by an immigration judge. He was arrested several times last year after being tied to moped robberies in the Bronx, but was repeatedly let go. Mora, on the other hand, who entered the country illegally in 2023 through Arizona, well, he was previously arrested for kidnapping and armed robbery in Massachusetts and then again in New York City. He was also wanted in connection with another robbery and stabbing in the Bronx.
But it's important that we make a distinction between those individuals with criminal convictions and those individuals, again, who are just trying to make ends meet each and every day. And the vast majority of individuals who are being secreted and kidnapped at night.
Of Justice has filed criminal charges against a South LA woman saying she staged a fake immigration kidnapping. Uriana Julie Calderon is facing charges of conspiracy and making false statements to federal officers. Last month, the local activist said she was taken from a South LA parking lot by so-called bounty hunters and into federal custody. She also claimed she was held at a facility near the border where she was urged to self-deport. Homeland Security called this case a hoax and say they found her on July 5th at a shopping center in Bakersfield. They also say phone records and surveillance video proves her story is not true. She is currently in custody, awaiting her first court appearance.
Are individuals who, again, are facing civil deportation and not criminal enforcement.
According to the Cornell School of Law, 8 U.S. Code 1325, improper entry by alien. Improper time or place, avoidance or examination or inspection, misrepresentation and concealment of facts. Any alien who enters or attempts to enter the United States at any time or place other than designated by immigration officers, or 2, eludes examination or inspection by immigration officers, or 3, attempts to enter or obtains entry into the United States by willfully false or misleading representation or willful concealment of a material fact, shall, for the first commission of any such offense, be fined under Title 18 or imprisoned not more than 6 months or both, and for a subsequent commission of any such offense be fined under Title 18 or imprisoned not more than 2 years or both.
It's important that we make a distinction. It's important that individuals understand that individuals are being caught up in these ICE raids, innocent individuals, students, teachers, small businesses. We all want the same thing, and that is to protect individuals from harm. But unfortunately, what we are seeing is mass ICE agents without any insignia, without any identification, kidnapping innocent individuals that both you and I know.